if anyone gets really stealthy in reading this, it's a quote from Jane Austen. Because I'm reading a story! Hi everybody, I'm Amanda the G, and I was organizing my bookshelf, and out of one of my yearbooks fell a story that I wrote, I think my freshman year in high school, either freshman or sophomore year in high school. I have not read this since then. It's called Bob's Adventure, and I will say, I was not very creative with naming characters, and pretty much every single one of my stories where I had to come up with a character name, its name was Bob. In a small town on a secluded island in the Atlantic Ocean lived a child of a mere 16 years of age. His name was Bob. Now, as it happens, one day Bob was walking to school and he decided not to go. Now, Bob had not gone too many days of school and he knew that cutting was wrong, but he just did not want to go. Bob was bored in school and he had arguments with his teacher. He also felt that the other kids weren't nice to him. We're setting up a whole scene here. Little did Bob know that if he skipped school one more day, he would be expelled. Bob was naive and thought that he could skip school and he would still pass. Poor Bob. Bob decided to go where he always went when he skipped, the park. I never skipped school, so I have no idea where kids actually went. It was close enough to the school and no one ever found him there. He went directly to the swings and got out his sketchbook. He would sit the day away there and sketch anything he wanted. Bob must have been an artist! Back at the school, Bob was marked absent by his teacher, Mrs. Gray. The school called Bob's parents, as they always do when he is absent, and asked where Bob was. His parents said that they thought that he was at school, as they always did. And there's a little mark from my teacher here that says tense shift, ? And yes, it is. I clearly changed tenses there. When Bob got home at the end of the day, his parents asked him if he was at school. Bob replied that he was at school, but he was marked absent because he was in the bathroom when Mrs. Gray took the attendance. His parents accepted that, as they always did, but this time they were suspicious. The next day, Bob's parents decided to drive him to school to make sure he went to class. Bob had a feeling that they knew he had cut class. Bob walked into Mrs. Gray's classroom and took his seat next to Vicky. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I named them after my aunts and uncles, and I didn't realize I did that. Vicky was a blonde-haired girl who was at the top of the class. She had the highest grades and a secret crush on Bob. Just after school started, the principal, Mr. Chunka, oh my god, that's a great name, where did I come up with that? Came into the classroom. "Good morning, students," he said. "Good morning, Mr. Chunka," the students replied. "I am afraid that I have some bad news. The school has policies on cutting classes, and if a student misses a certain number of classes, he or she will have to be punished. I regret to inform you that due to the circumstances, I have decided to expel the student in this class who has cut school. Bob, I am sorry, but today is your last day at Chunka High School." Some students laughed at this, but Bob was almost crying. He was a good kid, at least he thought he was, and he loved school. He loved to learn, but he just did not like going to school and being bored and feeling out of place. He did not want to have to tell his parents that he had been cutting and that he was expelled. He did not want to disappoint them. Vicky saw the sad look on Bob's face and wished that there was something that she could do. "Mr. Chunka," Vicky said, "aren't you being a little harsh? Everyone has a right to learn and there must be another way to punish Bob." "I'm sorry, Vicky," Mr. Chunka replied, "but I don't think it would be fair to the other students to let Bob stay." "How about we have a vote?" Mrs. Gray suggested. So the students voted and Bob was allowed to stay. "Bob, your peers have voted to let you stay, but in order for me to let you stay, you must be punished otherwise. You have to tell me tomorrow how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. You cannot buy one or eat one," Mr. Chunka said. I think this was supposed to be a quest story, by the way. "How can I possibly do that?" Bob asked. "You will have to find that out for yourself," Mr. Chunka replied, "and no one in this class can help." So at the end of school, Bob left a message for his parents on the answering machine that he was going on a field trip for school and would be back in a few hours. He had a few dollars in his pocket and he started on his way to the bus station. He bought a ticket to a nearby town that was a little bigger and he thought that he could find his answer there. When Bob got to the town, he immediately went to the college and asked anyone he could find if they knew how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. Everyone had the same answer. They didn't know and he should leave them alone and find out for himself. If I was allowed to find out for myself, don't you think I would? Bob thought. Bob got frustrated, so he started going door to door asking people if they knew the answer to his question. Bob still got the same answer. He kept knocking on doors until people started getting angrier and angrier. Bob knew that he needed the answer soon so he could be home and have it so he could stay in school. Bob started walking in the direction of the bus station when he realized he did not know where he was. He decided to keep walking forward. A little while later, he found a Tootsie Roll factory. What a great surprise! He thought that someone there must know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop, so he knocked on the door and asked the person who came to the door. You can knock on a door of a factory. Steve, the person that answered the door, said that he would tell Bob if and only if Bob promised that he would never cut school again. Bob promised, but thought that it was weird that Steve knew that he had cut class. The number of licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop is different for every person. It all depends on the size of the lick and the size and counting power of the person who is licking, Steve said. Bob looked worried with that answer and Steve said, "Don't worry, your principal will accept that." With that, Steve and the Tootsie Roll factory disappeared and the bus station appeared. This is a sci-fi! Bob got a ticket home and thought that it was weird that the factory had disappeared, but Bob did not pay any attention to that. He had his answer and he would keep his promise. When Bob got home, his parents asked about the field trip. Bob said that he went to a chocolate factory and had a great time. Bob's parents took him to school the next day. Bob went straight to Mr. Chunka's office and told him the answer. Mr. Chunka told Bob that he was right and was allowed to stay in school. From that day on, Bob never missed a day of school and never even thought about cutting. A few times he went back to where he had seen the factory, but he never saw it or Steve again. And if you're wondering, my grade on this was a 94. 94. Let me know what you thought about this video and this story that I wrote in high school in the comments down below. And if you like this video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. I make a new video every Tuesday and Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah! Mr. Chunka is the best name ever.